Set up. Good morning, everybody. We are bringing the happy news today because it's Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And today it's about Thanksgiving. It's about people coming together. It's about sitting down, overeating, having a really good time. But in reality, for me, what I wanted to jump on today, be really brief with this, is rest. Rest is such an important part of success. It's an important part of life. And as much as we got to grind, we got to go, we got to do, we got to go out there and be, we have to adapt, we have to adjust, we got to prepare. We just have to do all these things. They're verbs. Remember, the most important thing that you can do in so many cases, especially nowadays, for some people, excuse me, especially for a large majority of people, like to say, who are working really hard, take some rest. This is not the time for you to beat yourself up and think about the things that you need to do, things that aren't getting done. This is the time to rest. Did I work today? Absolutely, I did. Very small window that I worked. I just kept it really light, kept it really simple. Why? Because I'm about to sit down and cook and throw down. But you need to rest. We forget how important that is. And the way this kind of pans out with rest is, it's fine for a little while. It's good for a couple of months. Maybe you can even go a few years. But there's always a cost with this. When you're not resting, your body doesn't get to recharge. You don't get to sit back and just kind of complete the cycle of just success. Achieving. Rest, recover, reward your body. Let it know that, hey, thank you so much for waking up early. I really appreciate you, being able to help me to perform and things like that. That's not literally what you're saying, but that's what it's like. And you can just, we tend to think that the answers come to us when we're grinding, when we're working, and sometimes they do. They really do. But if you're out there hustling and working and doing all these things, just making the time happen, are you giving it enough time for the success to find you? And in many cases, that is not the case because you're doing so much, so you got to rest. I appreciate today. I recognize that everybody has friends and family and loved ones they can be with right now. I get that completely. But what you can do, and what you do have the option of doing, is just chilling out. Go find out what restaurant is open. Find out if you don't want to do a restaurant, eat something simple. Have something chill. Make sure, do your best not to beat yourself up over this time of year and think about the things that you should be eating and shouldn't all over yourself. We don't need that. Rest up. Recover, recharge, and just appreciate where you are. Smart people, I always like to say they're always thinking about how life can be better, how they can achieve more and do more. Brilliant people appreciate at the same time too. So be brilliant today. And for those of us who do have some family and friends and loved ones around, be smart like I've been talking about all this week. Set boundaries. Make sure that you're giving yourself maybe a timer when you go meet friends and family if you know they're going to drive you up a GD wall. Like really embody things like that because yes, you love them. I'm sure you care about them, but sometimes they can drive you up a wall and it gets to you. You're human. That's supposed to happen. That's all right. I think about when I used to live with my grandmother years and years and years ago. Some of my family members, anyway, I just remember some of my family members I wasn't quite fond of. And I even just recognize that, I don't want to do what's expected of me versus doing what I want. Because I just noticed when I was with some of those family members, I was sitting there dreading time. I was just wishing time would rush by. And I really got it because, why it's better to do what's expected of you. Excuse me, most do what's expected of you versus what they want. Because buried in there, it's about you looking at time and wanting it to rush, wanting it to just go by really fast. And now in life, you want to appreciate every second that you got. So if you're in a time when you recognize that I'm not happy here, I'm not enjoying myself, I don't want to do this, set a time limit. It is a sin in my eyes to sit back and think I want time to go by. You do not get time back. So make sure you're spending your time wisely. Make sure when you're with your friends and family that you're letting them know about what subjects that you are not wanting to participate in, what subjects you're not going to be, even in the vicinity if it's talked about. You might not be able to control what they talk about, but you can control in some cases which room or where, if you're going to be within an earshot of some people. We don't need to be taking time off and then having these ultra salacious, ultra borderline aggressive conversations. That's not fun and relaxing for a lot of us. So be mindful of that. So check in today. And lastly, it's when it comes to food, I'm all about eating healthy, You know, I am. I'm all about, making sure that you're taking care of yourself. But life is about enjoying yourself. I'm not saying, don't eat pie. Just maybe not eat the whole pie. If you do, don't tell anybody. But enjoy a lot of the good food that you're going to be having today, that you have an option of having today. Some people don't get that. I remember when Thanksgiving is such a big holiday for me. All these holidays tend to carry a little more weight because we grew up really tough, poor. And when you don't have a lot, when you see all of this food coming together, I remember my mom cooking and my other family members cooking. I just remember saying like, wow, look what we did by working together. Look what the family did by taking care of one another. And so I just have a very different relationship with food than a lot of other people. But it's not just the food. It's really, that's the result. It's everybody coming together. Everybody recognizing together. It's not about what we don't have, it's about what we do have. Because you got some sugar, but I don't have any eggs, but you got the eggs, and you can make some things happen. So, in this very weird, everyone getting along, kumbaya kind of way, this holiday and the next couple of holidays are really important because it helps people. Well, I would like to think it helps people get past a lot of the BS that separates a lot of us. And so anyway, just putting that to the side, appreciate the people that you're with, appreciate the gatherings and the good times, but be easy on yourself with food. Maybe practice some moderation this week today, have a few drinks, but life is for the living. It really is truly for the living, and you have to live it, you have to enjoy it. And sometimes watching every single thing that we put into our mouths is work. At some point, all of us are going to have to make that transition. And the last thing you want to say is, I'm glad I lived this life of complete restriction. I did enjoy myself. I'm not saying this is everybody, mind you. But what I'm saying is, I've talked to a few people who are really concerned about this holiday because they didn't know if it was going to get their weight off track, if it was going to mess them up. We don't need it. We don't need any more stress or pressure, as I was talking about on Monday. We don't. So enjoy yourself. Just practice a little bit of restraint. I love mashed potatoes, and anybody who knows me knows I love mashed potatoes. I was talking to my client this morning about that because she knows I love mashed potatoes. I'm going to have them. I'm just going to practice some restraint. Versus me eating one giant blob of it, I'm going to eat like 4 small blobs. It's still equal one, but it's still some effort. It's a lesson in practice and restraint. True story. But anyway, go out there. I want everybody to have a happy Thanksgiving. I want everybody to be safe. I know we got some Black Friday sales going on, so be smart. And a lot of people bond with things like this, so it's really cool to see. Love your family, even the ones who drive you up a wall. And I guess my last message, kind of closing this out, is celebrate everything. The good, the great, and the unexpected. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Take care.